What up, family? Get sport dash when Mary It is 7:05 a.m. my city, Chicago. So for Sunday, 57% on my phone. July 6, 2025. Here, Mac Miles, I'm trying to tell this truth about my driver's license experience, right? And they keep trying to say that, I'm violating policies. At first, the first one I did, you know, I cussed a little bit or whatever. It was too much truth, right? So I said, okay, let me try no cursing. Of course, that didn't work either. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try no visual because they don't want you to know that I got valid driver's license and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And it's the truth. You understand what I'm saying? My license don't expire until next year on my birthday. And if they would, which is May 25th of 2026, is when it expired. So I'm gonna see if this one goes through. Now, long story short, this is how I got my driver's license because I love how God looked out for me without family and you know guardians or protectors to help me and stuff. Nothing but the faith of a mustard seed. Long story short, I was about 18 years old and I went and got my went to the driving facility and I got the book, right? This is before you needed insurance or anything. Real talk. And, I studied the book and my neighbor, Andre, lived next to door to me. My sister stayed 7547 South Walcott, right? And, I studied the book. I saw my neighbor, Andre, who was a, teenager, and he was always working on his car. And I was like, Andre, if I study the book and, remember it and all that and stuff, I'm trying to get my license. Will you help me with the driving part? Let me, I'll give you $20 for gas or whatever and stuff. And you take me so I can get my license. He was like, yeah, So, I really studied and I remembered it. And the day came and Andre knocked on the door and was like, I'm not going to be able to take you. I was like, what? What happened? And then he came from behind it, or whatever, with some keys in his hand. And it was his mother's brand new Cadillac keys. She worked for CTA, real tough. And she had a brand new Cadillac. And of course, I was cheesing from ear to ear. And we went and I took the test and I was leaning, like it with a gangster lean, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know the song. And the instructor was like, you keep leaning, you gonna flunk. So I was dead on 3 o'clock, got my license, gave him his $20, happy. Didn't have no money to get no car, but I was happy. So in 2008, I got pulled over for so-called disarming a police officer, something I did not do in Rogers Park. You understand what I'm saying? But the initial pullover was tinted windows. I had my driver's license, insurance, seatbelt on, everything. But because I was giving my book, Rhymes, Poems, and Metaphors plus one song away to the public, you understand, for free, and had a website for real, and was doing me and being grateful for, God bringing me as far as God has, for real, and with hardly no help, hard work and determination. You understand what I'm saying? And my ancestors pretty much watching over me. Long story short, that car ended up, the police still got it. It was in mint condition, 92 Buick Sabre. They stole all my cars. I put a lot of money in these traps and stuff like that. Now you gotta remember, Oprah did her show. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Who do you think paying for all them cars? Lil' Kim said it best. Why spend mine when I can spend yours? I never had a new car a day in my life. I drove a new car. You understand what I'm saying? I never had one personally. I could have had a brand new Cadillac when I worked at the Clark Mall for myself or whatever. But that's all I would have got was a brand new Cadillac, and it would have been a trap by now, or they would have stole it anyway. The police I'm talking about. And if this video don't go through this time, it's because the truth hurts. And they don't want you to know and visually, that, I have license and I taught myself how to drive. Real talk, I really did. I taught myself how to drive. I didn't have to go to driving class, none of that. I watched my foster father when I was younger. You understand what I'm saying? I took a couple of keys off somebody's table or whatever and stuff, and and I put myself at risk, real talk. And you know what I mean? Taught myself how to drive, real talk. Long story short, I got valid driver's license to this day, but they don't want y'all to see it. And the one that they took from me in 2008, I got 100 on that test while waiting. You know what I'm saying? I had to do the written test over and stuff. May 25th, I had to renew my license, 2008. And I got so happy because the white lady, she was like, you got 100 on this. And I literally read the book while I was waiting on them to call my name. And I still got 100. But I didn't realize the lady was hating. And so I didn't look at my driver's license, the originals, for real. I would show you, but that's probably the reason why this video didn't go through the first 2 times or whatever. I don't know. We're going to find out this time because I ain't showing you no visuals. Use your mind. Y'all know what the real license looked like before, for real. And then they switched it up to what they is now. Long story short, in 2008, I was supposed to renew my license, which I did. But then they said they expired in 2009. I didn't look at it. I just got my license and was, you know what I mean? But it was supposed to expire in 2012. But they knew that they was going to railroad me May 31st, 2008. They knew that. The devil always know ahead of time. And 6 days later, after my birthday, surely, for real, on May 31st, 2008, I got railroaded. So my license said that they expired on my birthday of 2009 when it was supposed to be 2012. But because I didn't look, you understand what I'm saying, for real, and they knew what they was going to do to me, and they knew I would probably do a year in prison, real talk. You understand what I'm saying? So when I got out, I wouldn't be able to get my car. I wouldn't have no valid driver's license. But it's mighty funny. I passed that psych eval that they gave me in 2008. But in 2016, when I lost everything, after 2008, and I was still homeless and going through some stuff, they tried to label me crazy in 2016. Imagine that. But I get out in 2016 and got my license in I got railroaded in 2016 and got out of that mess in 2016. In 2017, you understand what I'm saying? I got here May 31st, again, here we go through May 31st, 2017. Now, the last video, I pulled the balls and it added up to 31. Because, 31, May 31st is how all this messes. And so, of course, they don't want to seem like it's lining up. You know what I'm saying? So, that video didn't go through either. So this is the third time I'm trying to tell you about my driver's license experience. Long story short, I got here, 6210 South Kennebuck Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60637, apartment 308, May 31st of 2017. And I believe I got my license in 2017 when I got here again. I had to clear up some stuff to get the old license back that I was trying to tell you about that they cheated me out of. So I got that back. So either I got it in 2000. Hold on, I'm going to tell you exactly. Hold on. I ain't going to even show you. I'm going to tell you exactly. Because, I renewed my license twice since I've been here. You understand what I'm saying? Real talk, which is a little over 8 years. So, okay. It was issued in 2019. So I got here in 17. So in 2019, I had got my little paperwork straightened out about the license and what. And then they claim it was issued 12/5/2019. I can't see myself really taking my license and the day to win it. But hey, that's what they say. 2019. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Real talk. So even if it was wintertime and I passed, that's even better. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So they don't expire until 2026. And I don't want to show you because, but yeah, I done posted all my stuff anyway. Long story short, it's hard to railroad a person. You understand what I'm saying? That ain't crazy. And got driver's license. I literally had to take the test. You understand what I'm saying? Driving and all that. So how am I crazy? And I got valid driver's license. And that's why this video might not go through again. But we're going to see. We're going to see. I'm number one for a reason. Now, if it don't go through this time, it's because they mad because I'm still number one. Step your game up. Peace.